What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check updates, the two new upcoming packages, the physical infrastructure package, as well as the next stimulus package, as well as what is going on in the world today. I have a visitor here right there. You can see my cat Lily has joined us for the time being. We'll see how long she stays during this recording. But yeah, lots of information. We actually, coming out today, we actually have a new ally possibly in former President Donald Trump over more stimulus checks. Yeah, really good news there. Surprising news. Yeah, we'll go over that. We're going to go over the free college that is proposed to be in this next stimulus package, as well as several other different things in this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates on the upcoming stimulus package, the next stimulus package, the fourth stimulus check package, known as the American Families Plan. There's about 15 different items that they want to put in this next stimulus package, including another stimulus check, calls for a monthly stimulus check, an expansion of more monthly stimulus checks called the child tax credits. There are monthly stimulus checks that are going to be going out in July to children or to the parents who claims them as a dependent of $250 to $300 per month per child starting in July. That's already passed for 1 year. The Democrats want to expand that for at least 4 more years as well. They're also pushing for Social Security increases and Medicare increases in this next package. We'll go over some of the details in this video today. Also, don't forget to hit the like button for us if you haven't yet. It really helps out our channel. Okay, first up, Vice President Kamala Harris is coming under criticism as it has now been 53 days since she has been put in charge of the border crisis on the Mexican border, with a record number of immigrants crossing over every single month illegally. I think it was 170,000 people that they caught last month alone, and that does not include the people that they didn't catch. And Vice President Kamala Harris has not given us a news conference since she came into that role of leading that position. It has now been 53 days. What's even more so is that President Biden has redirected more than $2 billion towards migrant shelters, holding 45,000 unaccompanied children, and away from U.S. taxpayer money, such as for COVID-19 testing or anywhere else they want to spend that money. The New York Post posts, quote, "The president single-handedly created this crisis and is now misplacing billions of dollars in taxpayer money," says Nicole Malotikis of the New York Post. Yeah, I probably butchered that name. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. And I'm very surprised that we haven't seen Vice President Kamala Harris come out and give us briefings. I mean, we see President Biden giving briefings and speeches and talking almost like every day or every 2 days. And it's been 53 days and we haven't heard a single thing from Vice President Kamala Harris. So we kind of have no idea what's going on. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. It's kind of weird. I almost think she kind of needs to come out and let us know what she's doing, what they're working on, and give us some more information. We get a little bit of information from White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, but it's kind of at odds against President Biden. President Biden's always, speaking, doing interviews, doing press conferences, and letting us know what's going on. And Vice President Kamala Harris has been pretty much the exact opposite. At least 18 Republican-run states with Republican governors are canceling the $300 per week unemployment bonus money. And in less than a month or more than a month, depending on the state, they're going to cancel the $300 per week bonus, as well as get rid of the enhanced unemployment weeks. Each state has their own unemployment that they do for a certain amount of weeks. It's around 26 weeks on average. And the pandemic and these last stimulus packages have expanded that to 52 weeks or even more in some cases. And yeah, these Republican-run governors are getting rid of that. So there will not be extra bonus weeks, and there will also not be $300 per week bonus. And this has kind of put the Democrats and Republicans even more on edge, as Democrats are saying because the economy's bad, people are not getting jobs as much as they should be. we need to pass more stimulus. We need to pass the physical infrastructure plan, which will create millions of jobs, and the next stimulus package to help people in their time of needs. And Republican governors are saying that no, we want to have some tough love here. We want people to go back to work, and then we might give them a bonus for going back to work.
For many of those folks, unemployment benefits are a lifeline. No one should be allowed to game the system, and will insist the law is followed. If you're receiving unemployment benefits and you're offered a suitable job, you can't refuse that job and just keep getting the unemployment benefits.
We're not going to be participating in the federal subsidy any longer.
We're going to use federal money to get people back to work instead of paying people not to work.
18 Republican-run states have decided to end the extra $300 per week in federal unemployment benefits, affecting nearly 2 million Americans. Millions are still out of work as the pandemic begins to ease, with only 266,000 jobs added in April. And while the GOP continues to imply people are lazy and don't want to work because the benefits are too generous, recent Census Bureau polling proves the opposite. Nearly 1 in 3 Americans on unemployment said they were still struggling to cover routine expenses, such as food, housing, and medical treatments. Joining me now, the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington. Congresswoman Jayapal, thank you very much for coming back to the Sunday Show.
You bet, Jonathan. It's great to see you.
All right, let's hammer away at that point that Republicans are making, and that is that the unemployment benefits are too generous, and that's why people aren't going back into the workforce.
Yeah, let me go to 2 points on the numbers that we saw from April, because I believe it's all in the facts. It's all in the numbers. So the first thing is, if it was really unemployment assistance that was keeping people at home, that additional pandemic unemployment assistance, then what you would have seen is that the numbers would not have reflected a giant increase in those lowest wage sectors. And that is what we saw. A big increase, the largest increase, in fact, of all the industries, was in those low wage sectors. That means people on the lowest wages are still coming back to work in droves. Second, very important point from the numbers. The biggest drop was actually in unemployment related to women. Women had lost the most ground in this last month. And what we see in these disappointing job numbers is that the job loss was really created because separation from women, separation from jobs from women. That means that women who are the primary caregivers of children across the country and older folks are not able to go back to work because they still have their kids at home. There's a significant number of school districts that have not opened across the country. And so those numbers reflect that this is not a problem with unemployment assistance. This is a problem because people don't have childcare assistance, and it makes the case for why we need a big, bold jobs and families plan.
Now, Representative Jayapal, who was just speaking there, is one of the co-authors, along with Democratic Representative Rashida Tlaib, for a fourth stimulus check that would be a one-time $2,000 stimulus check, then followed by $1,000 monthly recurring payments that would go until 1 year after the pandemic is over. The other plan that has gotten a lot of support in recent weeks is the bill from the Senate. Senators Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren are the co-sponsors, and that is for a $2,000 monthly stimulus check that would go until the pandemic is declared over. So think probably somewhere around 6 months, could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less, but that would be $2,000 monthly stimulus checks until the pandemic is over. Now, while these Republican governors are opting out of the $300 per week bonus, we're starting to see multiple different states, like as you can see here, Arizona, they are offering a $2,000 go back to work or return to work bonus. Once you come off unemployment, they're going to stop the $300 per week bonus, and they're going to offer, I'm seeing different states offer anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000 per week bonus. Basically, once you find a new job and go back, and maybe after a certain amount of days, 30, 60, or 90 days, you will receive then an extra bonus stimulus check of $1,000 to $2,000. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments. Do you think this is a better solution to get people back to work, or do you think that this might force people to find a job that might pay a lot less? I've also seen a lot of your comments that says, yeah, there's jobs available in my area, but the vast majority of them are part-time. I've seen somebody say that all the jobs she finds, the maximum amount of hours that they are offering is 15 hours per week, which is, yeah, so that's the problem. Is there's a lot of low paying jobs, minimum wage jobs, $8 an hour jobs, $9 an hour jobs, depending on the state you're in, as well as a lot of part-time jobs that are offering hours of no more than 15 to 20 hours per week. And it's not enough for you to basically go back to work and find that type of job, as it won't pay your bills. So let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think that Republican governors should be opting out of this $300 per week bonus and offering a get back to work bonus of $1,000 to $2,000 instead? It's kind of the new battle that's been going on here over the last few days. If you're hoping for another stimulus check, a fourth stimulus check, well, we just got an update from an unlikely ally with the Democrats in charge of the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Republican former President Donald Trump has just spoken out in favor of stimulus checks. As you can see here, Americans deserve the stimulus checks that they have received, according to former President Donald Trump, who added that China should have to pay for them and the global pandemic they released. Former President Trump says, quote, "I like people getting the stimulus checks." He told Rita Cosby on 77 WABC AM in New York in a wide-ranging interview on Thursday night. He says, "I thought it was good, and frankly, I'm okay with that because we went through a lot with the China virus." And yeah, we went through a lot. Massive spending plans are generally disliked by Republicans and Trump, particularly amid the spending proposals being put forth by President Joe Biden in his first few months. But President Trump wanted the stimulus payments at the end of his administration to be $2,000. President Biden then passed in a Democrat controlled Congress the third stimulus check package after Republicans declined to do so in a split Congress, when Mitch McConnell sent that bill to the graveyard and ultimately cost them the Senate. He says ultimately, though, China should have to pay for the COVID-19 pandemic it unleashed on the world. He says, quote, "China should have to pay for that. It's what they've done. I don't think they did it on purpose, but they may have, and something should happen." He says, quote, "It's just ridiculous what they've done to the world by allowing that virus to escape. That's horrible, that virus escaped. So, just not gonna happen through Biden. I can tell you that." Trump also says, "I think look at the closures hurt if you look at Florida, if you look at Texas, if you look at certain states all run by Republicans, they were much more open and some were totally open. And they did much better medically, and from the standpoint of life and death, they did much better. The illness itself, they did much better than these closed states when you look at New York and various other places." So yeah, former President Donald Trump comes out in support of stimulus payments and says that China should pay for them. Now, unfortunately, I don't think that we'll ever be able to get China to pay for anything. I think that would be very difficult to do. I'm surprised that more countries aren't pushing to have this done through maybe the United Nations or something like that. And even if they got a judgment against China, I don't know if they would ever get paid from China, but it is an interesting thought. Do you think China should have to pay for the next round of stimulus checks? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. It would be pretty cool, right? Yeah, China pays for it, and they're basically say, "Hey, sorry, we're going to pay for another stimulus check." Yeah, it would be pretty difficult to do, but it's actually very good to show that Republican former President Donald Trump is coming out in favor of stimulus checks. We've not really seen a lot of Republicans come out in favor of more stimulus checks, but we have seen Republican Senators Mitt Romney and Republican Senator Josh Hawley both come out in favor of more monthly checks for children through the child tax credits. In fact, Mitt Romney actually wants to pay, instead of $300 per month for children under the age of 6, with these child tax credits that are already approved. He wants to increase that to $350 per month. And Republican Senator Josh Hawley wants to increase it to $1,000 per month for married filing jointly couples with children, or $500 per month for a single adult with children, which would be more than the $250 to $300 per month that they are going to start getting in July. In addition to this, President Biden wants $109 billion for 2-year free college for Americans in this next stimulus package known as the American Families Plan, as well as $80 billion for Pell Grants, $62 billion for retention and completion efforts, and $39 billion for 2 years free at minority serving institutions for most students. This proposal for 2 years of free community college, as well as 2 years of free preschool, are likely going to be included in this next stimulus package known as the American Families Plan. Now, some Democrats are pushing for a full 4 years of free college. Honestly, even if we get 2 years of free college, I think that's going to change the game. That will be major national news for the United States. Imagine if you could go back to college and do it for free and get a 2-year college degree. I think we then could see the push for more and possibly upping it to a 4-year college degree. I think the smart thing would probably be to do is to go for the 2 years of free college and then later on up it to 4 years. Remember, they could do it for 2 years and you could go there for a year and a half and then they could increase it. This is very similar to what the Democrats are doing with the child tax credits, which are monthly stimulus checks that are going to start in July. They passed it for just 1 year in 2021. So it's $3,000 for children over the age of 6 through 17, and $3,600 for children under the age of 6. But it's only passed for 1 year. Now they're already, even though the checks haven't gone out yet, they're already looking to expand it even more to the year 2025 or even permanently. There's 2 different plans out right now to increase those monthly payments to 2025 and another plan to increase them permanently to make those monthly checks permanently stay in place as a form of government child support. They say that this will take over 50% of children out of childhood poverty by giving $250 to $300 per month per child checks directly from the government for every child in the country, as long as their parents have a social security number and they make below the income thresholds that are likely to be similar to the third stimulus check package, which provides about 85% of Americans qualified for that third stimulus check package. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. I'll be going over these details of the free college and more information as it comes out with all these different stimulus items. They also want to increase Social Security. They want to increase Medicare and have free hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids, as well as lowering the eligibility age to age 55 or 60 for Medicare as well. In the last video, I went over the Social Security increases. If you haven't watched that yet, I'll link you to that at the end of this video here in just a second. But if you're new here to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. I'll keep you up to date on all the stimulus items coming out in the next package, or what could come out in the next package, as well as the next stimulus check. We are also going to have stimulus checks and stimulus programs coming from states and cities in the near future, as states are going to be receiving $350 billion, and they have to spend a portion of that money on you guys. So I'll keep you up to date on everything. You can click on this video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is my video from earlier today about the Social Security proposal increases. There's 3 different plans to increase Social Security payments per month. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.